jump right into these formulas. Okay, so these are the two that we're looking at today, and we're looking at their surface area. If I have a cube, right? And that is one face on my cube. Okay, I don't want you to think about surface area right now and panic. I just want you to tell me, how would I work out the area of that pink square that you are seeing right now? How would I work out the area of that pink square? Beautiful. Yes, good. Okay, we can either say S times S, or we can say S squared. Remember, the S stands for side. It is not a 5, okay? So in a square like this or a cube, they would both be the same as each other. If I'm wanting the area of that pink square, it would be side times side, or side squared. Okay, now in a cube, so I want you to think of a dice. How many sides does a cube have? So how many faces does a cube have? Beautiful. Yes. Okay, so a cube has got 6 faces. Okay, and this face that you've just worked out here would be exactly the same on all of them because they're identical, right? So if I'm wanting to figure out the surface area of a cube, all I need to do is work out the area of one of my faces and times it by 6. That would be my surface area. Now, a nicer way of writing that would just be to say 6 is squared. So 6 times our side squared, but if you're wanting to write it as S squared times 6, or you could write it as S times 6, or some of your schools, I think, have an A. Any of that is fine. Okay, but that is just how we work out the surface area of the cube, because there are 6 of them. It's always going to be times 6 for a cube. Yeah. Unless the cube had an open lid. So if it was like a box that didn't have a lid, then there would be 5. So if it's a slightly trickier question and we have to think about it in a different way, but a general standard cube will just be times 6. Hi, Andela. Okay, if anyone has any questions about this cube situation, please ask now. Pop your hand up or write it in the chat. Let me know if there's any confusion about the cube. Yeah, so and now if it was one where there was no lid, that would be a higher order question, yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So that's our surface area of a cube. Now let's move down to our rectangular prism. I want you to think of this book again, okay? Remember I said that this area would be the same as this area, okay? The same idea. So if I work out the area of this blue rectangle over here, okay? Do you agree that it would be exactly the same as the rectangle at the back of it? They would be exactly the same as each other, right? Okay. And I've got this rectangle over here, which would be exactly the same as the other one on its side. Okay. And then we have this top rectangle up here, which would be exactly the same as the one on the bottom. Okay. So when we're working this out, I'm going to write this as length, I'm going to write this as base, and this is height. Okay. If I'm wanting to work out, so I want you to listen to this question very, very carefully. All right. If I want to work out the area of just my blue rectangle, so just my blue rectangle, how would I work out the area of just the blue one? So look at the letters very carefully. Anna, how would I work out the area of just my blue rectangle?
Ma'am, can you work it out with length times breadth?
So if I'm working out length times breadth, I'm actually going to be working out my green rectangle.
Oh, so ma'am, is it length
yeah,
times height?
yes, exactly. It's going to be length times height. Great work. Nice work, Anna. So because this line over here is height, that means that this would also be the same. So that's also going to be height. So if I'm wanting the area of this blue rectangle, it would be length times height. Okay. If I'm wanting the area of this purple rectangle, it would be base times height. And if I wanted the area of this green rectangle, it would be length times base. Okay. Now remember, there are two of all of those. Okay. So what we're doing when we write this formula out, lots of different ways to write this. I'll show you the two main ways that people use, is we say our surface area is equal to 2 times, and then we write those three areas. So length times height plus base times height plus length times base. And I'll show you those colors now, and then we can work out our surface area. Some people find it easier to write out the 2 each time. So 2 times length times height plus 2 times base times height plus 2 times length times base. Okay, so you must do the one that you feel comfortable with. So this length times base, that's our green one over there. And then we've got our blue one, which is our length times our height. And we have got our purple one, which is our base times our height. No, neither one of these is wrong to use. So either one of those is fine. The most important thing is don't forget that 2. No, that's perfect, Anna. 100% fine. Okay, so now before we move into examples, does anyone have any questions or concerns or worries about this rectangular prism? Please feel free to ask. Yes, Jasmine, how can I help?
Questions and concern. Which is best to use?
Look, it depends on the question. If it's like a higher order question where we have some pieces that are missing, then this way might be easier because we're not going to times all of them by 2. But I think if it's like a normal standard rectangular prism where you're working out the surface area, then this one's probably the easier one to use.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. No other questions? Cool. Let's jump into some examples. So the first one I'm going to do for you, and I'm going to do it quite slowly, just so that everyone can understand where everything is coming from, especially those of you who haven't done this in class already. I don't want you to panic if you're seeing this for the first time. And then I'm going to give you some that you can try by yourselves. Okay. Oh, if you'd like to take a screenshot, please take one now before I scroll down. Okay. All right, so this first one over here, I'm wanting to find the surface area of this rectangular prism. Okay, so we're gonna do it step by step. Remember, this face, there would be 2 of them. Okay, so we're gonna kind of do this together, and I'm also gonna kind of do it by myself. We're gonna do a joint effort here. So if I'm wanting just the area of that purple face, what would the area of that purple face be? Just the area of that purple face. What times what? So look at your numbers very carefully. How would I work out the area of that purple face? So try and use the numbers that are on the picture. Yeah, there we go. Good. Okay. So we can see that this 8 centimeters over here would be the same as this line over here. So that would also be an 8 centimeters. Okay, so if I'm wanting the area of that purple face, I'm just going to do this in stages so that you can see what it looks like. That would be 6 times 8. Okay. Yeah, Tiana, how can I help?
Ma'am, say for instance, they never gave us all of the amounts, for
Yeah.
example. Now they gave us an X instead of giving us the amount. What would we do?
Well, I'm going to do that for you later, so you'll see. Okay. Okay, so now I'm wanting the area of this blue face. Can you tell me what numbers I would multiply to get to my area of my blue face? So look at it carefully. Nice. Good. So my blue face is going to be 2 times 8. Good.
Well, my pebs.
Okay, then I'm going to have this pink face up here. This is the one we have to be careful with. We got to look at our numbers really carefully. What is going to be my area of that pink face? So think about it like this. It would be the same at the top and at the bottom, if that helps. Good. 6 times 2. Good. Okay. And then all we have to do is we're going to say our surface area is equal to 2 times this plus this plus this. Close off that bracket. Then we're going to grab our calculators, and I want you to put that into your calculator exactly like that. I want everyone to do this to make sure you're getting the correct answers. Okay. You should all be getting 152. If you don't get 152, you need to let me know. I think the most common mistake is you might be forgetting that 2, which is very, very important. Okay. And now we're in surface area. So what are my units going to be? Good. Centimeters squared. Perfect. Good. Don't worry, Rebecca. It happens to the best of us. If you're worried you're going to forget that too, then you may want to rely on writing it out each time, if that's something you're worried about forgetting. Then that might be what you would want to do. Okay, if anyone has a question about this, please ask away, and then we're going to jump to the next one that you guys are going to do by yourselves. Burlington, I know that hand is because you've just arrived here, but I can't explain this from the beginning. So you're going to need to watch the beginning of this lesson when you get a chance. Okay. All right, let's try one by ourselves. Because Burlington is 16 minutes in. I can't start from scratch. Okay. This one's nice and easy because it's a cube. So I'm going to help you out just a little bit. I'm not going to do a lot. I'm just going to do that and see if that helps you. And I'm wanting the surface area of this cube. Oh, sure. Ask away. I'm happy to help. Tiana, I think that hand is to answer. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I'll unmute you now. Yes, so I'll go back right after we finish this question, okay? And then just pop your question, but pop your question in the chat for me so long so that I can see. Yeah, they need to tell you that it's a cube if it's a cube. Okay, Tiana, how am I going to work this out?
Okay, ma'am. So, yeah, we're going to say the side which is 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to say to the power of 2 times
Good.
6.
Beautiful. So what's our final answer?
So our final answer is 96.
96 what?
96 centimeters. Is it squared?
Yeah.
No, is it
Good. It's great. It's
Yes.
great. Nice job. Good job, Tiana. Good. We're getting there. Okay. So remember, in a cube, there are 6 faces that are identical. And so we just need to work out the area of one face, and then we can just times it by 6. So, Umfile, you don't have to write the formula, but if your teacher is wanting you to write the formula, which some teachers do, I do understand that, definitely put it in. But you don't normally get a mark for the formula. Okay, let's quickly scroll up so I can answer this question and people can take screenshots if they need. So Burlington, this was where we started. So please feel free to take a screenshot. This is just looking at how we actually figure out what our different formulas are for our cube and for a rectangular prism. Okay. And then this was the question we did as an example. Okay, so I know I'm going to say this name wrong. Dilshad, I know I'm saying your name wrong. Okay, why was it 6 times 8? Okay, so the reason we times this by 2, the reason that this 2 over here is so important is this is when you have to think about this book situation. Okay, so at the moment, if you worked out the purple, pink, and blue, you're working out purple, pink, and blue. Purple, pink, and blue. So we're only working out half the book. So the reason we times it by 2 is because they are double of each of them. If this was my 6 times 8, then this would also be my 6 times 8. If this was my 2 times 8, then this is also my 2 times 8. So basically we're working out 3 areas and then we're just timesing them by 2 to get our full book or our full rectangular prism. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense. Okay. No problem. All right, guys, all yours. I'm wanting a beautiful answer here. I'm wanting the surface area of this rectangular prism.
We can do this, my babes. Let's go.
Burlington, is this a question?
No, ma'am.
But I've just put it on the screen.
Yeah, I already have it.
Okay, what I recommend, Burlington, is can you write it out your side and work it out with the calculator so that you've got all the answers in front of you when you go through it with me, okay? Okay. Just gonna highlight some faces for you. And then give it your best go. Get your answers start coming in. And then after this question, we're going to jump into our brain break, and then we're going to do some trickier ones after the brain break. No, so at the moment, there's only maths. Next year, it will be maths literacy and maths, but just maths. Yeah, I'm wanting the surface area of this shape. Okay, got some answers starting to come in. All right, Burlington, we are all yours. Tell us how to work out this question.
Okay, ma'am. First of all, you're gonna write the general formula by saying surface area is equals to two brackets L times B brackets plus 2 times B times H brackets plus 2 brackets L times B.
We've had LB, so this must be OH. Okay.
So first we'll have to say 2 brackets 17 times 12. 17 times 12, then close the bracket, then we add, then we say 15 times 12. Then we'll have to say 17 times 12.
We've already had 17 times 12.
Oh, it's L times B, 17 times 15.
17 times 15. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, so our first answer will have to be. Our first answer will have to be. Wait.
So we can pop this into our calculator just like this. So we don't need to work out more than this. So just pop it straight in.
Yeah, it will be 408.
Okay, but let's put the whole thing into the calculator.
Oh, the whole thing, ma'am.
The whole thing. So what did you get as your final answer?
For my final answer, I got 496,230.
Okay, some things have gone a little bit sideways. I think that was just because of the way that you've added on your calculator, but don't panic. So everything that you've said here is great. Okay, and if you're wanting to write it as 2 times this, 2 times this, that's 100% fine. Okay, if we pop this into our calculator, we should get the answer of 1278, and it's going to be surface area. So we're going to say millimeters squared. But if you're wanting to write it as 2 times this, 2 times this, that's 100% fine to write it like that. Thanks, Burlington. Jasmine, how can I help?
I did it similarly to how Burlington was explaining, right?
Sure.
But I got the correct answer.
Yes, that's totally fine. So you're welcome to say 2 times 17 times 12 plus 2 times 15 times 12 plus 2 times 17 times 15. Totally fine to write it that way.
And I calculated separately, got 3 different answers, then added it and got the same final answer.
So you worked out each one separately.
Yeah.
That's fine. So the only reason I think it's generally better to just put it in one is because we're less likely to make a silly mistake along the way. But if you feel more comfortable writing each answer by themselves, that's also 100% fine.
All right.
Okay. Cool. Okay, guys, we're going to jump into our brain break from here, and then we're going to get into some of the spicy questions after our brain break. So I know we're 5 minutes early, but it's because I want some more time for the tricky questions. If you would like to take a screenshot of this, please feel free, and then we're going to jump to Brian. Just a reminder to all of you who are coming to the boot camp on Saturday, please come prepared. Please have worked through that past paper that you were given so that it's not the first time you're seeing the things. Okay. All right. So let's jump into Brian. Okay, Brian has brought you 3 treats today. First treat is a maths treat, which is similar to the one from Tuesday. So you have to use a very similar way of thinking. That was the one with the cats. So if you can remember your way of thinking, because I remember I explained it very carefully to you on Tuesday. So if you can remember that, you should be okay with the first question. And then there's 2 nice, easy, short, quick dingbats to finish this up, which really is just going to be who can type the fastest. So let's see who can type the fastest. Tiana, they are all lying. The only parent that Brian has is me. I'm the one and only. It's just me. It's not a num, the one and only. It's me, the one and only. Oh, so now Brian is a female. You've just changed Brian's gender, Pee-wee. Okay. Don't know how Brian feels about that. All right, let's jump into our first maths question. First maths question. I want to know what my yellow apple is equal to. I don't want you to just guess numbers. I want you to actually look at this carefully and try and figure it out. And then give me like a proper answer as to what my yellow apple is. Just think about it in the same way you thought about the one on Tuesday. It's not 3. So many different answers. Still not the answer I'm wanting to see. You have to figure out the red apple. If you can't figure out the red apple, you can't figure out the yellow apple. Yandela, are you able to explain how you got your answer? Or were you guessing? You don't know how you did it, but you did it.
That's a good answer.
Okay. I shall take you guys out to misery. So Yandela was right. It is 7. A yellow apple is definitely equal to 7. Let me show you why. All right. So the reason I said you have to think about how we thought about this on Tuesday is you have to look at this relationship over here. Okay. So 1 yellow apple is a red apple plus 2. So instead of this yellow apple, I'm going to make him a red apple plus 2. And I'm going to make him a red apple plus 2. So what I land up with is on this side, I've got 3 red apples. And on this side, I've got 2 red apples plus 5. Okay, because of this 2, and this 1. These 2 apples cancel with those 2 apples. And so we see that our 1 red apple is equal to 5, which means that this guy is 5, which means that this guy is 7. So we just had to use our brains a little bit with this one and work our way backwards. You could have also done this one through substitution. So if you had like just tried with different numbers, you should have gotten to the correct answer. But yeah, exactly. It's just algebra. It's algebra with apples instead of X's and Y's. But what this would have looked like is 3x is equal to 2x plus 5. You're just solving for x. Okay. Dingbats, they are easy. They are not complicated ones. So really, when I say that this is a competition of who can type the fastest, I'm being very serious about that. So be ready by whatever keyboards or by your phones, however you're typing, be ready. Okay, because they're not tricky. It's all about speed. Let's see how it goes. First one. Yes, Rebetswe. Yandela, what is a wedding circle? Tiana, what is a wedding circle? What is that? Just coming up with things that don't exist. Wedding ring. It's a wedding ring. Wedding ring. Circle of life. No, but you know what would be a good circle of life is if we had like pictures of a newborn baby that slowly went around to a really old person. That would be a great dingbat for the circle of life. I told you, Apiwe, that it was going to be fast. I gave you warnings. It's just blue because it's blue. The blue meant nothing.
But the wedding circle sort of makes sense in a way of how they put.
No, don't justify this, Yolanda. Where's the diamond? Yeah. There's the diamond. Okay, next one. Get ready to type. It's going to be fast. Yes, Tutwano, well done. A peewee. Where your baits were? Get over it. Get is over it. If it was get under it, then it would be its gates. Ah, I know they're very fast, very, very fast. Because the gate is over the it. So its gate is over it. Get over it. I'm grumpy now. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, let's jump back into some maths. Let's try to refocus these brains. We can use these next 20 minutes as wisely as we can. Okay, so now this is one of those ones where we're going to work backwards. Okay. I want you to think, I'm not going to do this whole thing for you. I want you to think a little bit about it, and then I'm going to step back and let you work out the rest. How would I work out that green area over there? How would I work out that green area? Using what information has been given me. So this is a cube. It tells you what one of its sides is. How would I work out the area of that green square? Using what is in the picture. Come on, guys. Yes, a peewee. How can I work out the area of this green square?
Ma'am, would you be able to say 181,5 square root?
So at some point I'm definitely gonna have to square root. But for the moment, don't think about any of the other information there. Like imagine none of that existed and it was just this. Imagine that was all you saw. That's all you can see. So nothing else exists. If this was the only picture you got and I wanted to know what the area of that green square is, what would the area of that green square be? Jasmine, what would the area of that green square be?
The area of your green square would be that the final thing on the top divided by 6.
No. Remember, we don't know any other information. We only can see what we're seeing here. So I just want to know how to work out just that area. So I'm not going to have a number. What would I need to, how do I work out the area?
X times X.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be X times X. Okay. So if I'm wanting the area of that green square, it's going to be X squared. So now we can start bringing all of this other information in. Okay. If I'm wanting to work out the surface area of this cube, it's going to be X squared, and there are going to be 6 of those sides. Okay. Now look at the other information that has been given to you in this question. Okay. And think about how we could work this out backwards. So I'm going to write it slightly differently. I'm going to write it as 6x squared is equal to my surface area, because I think that's going to help you when you set up. So I want you to think about it super carefully, and then Anam is going to talk us through how to do this question. Okay, we're getting some answers coming in. You should have a decimal answer, but it should only have 1 decimal place. Ooh, careful with those units. Think about what you're looking for. Okay, Anam, we are all yours. Tell us how we are going to go about solving this.
Okay, ma'am. So I first substituted in the surface area. So I said 6x squared equals 181.5.
Beautiful.
Then I divided both sides by 6.
Good.
Then I got x squared equals 30.25.
Beautiful.
Then I square rooted both sides and I got x equals 5.5 centimeters squared.
Oh, so close. What are my units going to be?
Squared?
Just centimeters. So
Oh.
when you're looking for x here, you're looking for the length of a side. You're not looking for surface area or volume. And because it's just the length of a side, it's just going to be normal units. Okay, nice job, Anam. Great work. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so for anyone who didn't catch that, remember, whenever we're looking for the length of a side, it's always going to be centimeters. It's not going to be centimeters squared. It's not going to be centimeters cubed. So your bets were, yes, it is wrong because it's not a squared unit. It's a length. And as soon as we have a length, it's just going to be a singular unit. I know it seems mean, but it is what it is. Okay. Anyone have any questions about this? Because we're going to go to a slightly trickier one after this. So if you're struggling with this, you need to let me know. Okay. Cool. So now this one is slightly different. This is not a cube. This is a rectangular prism. So Tiana, this is something that you were asking about earlier. So I want you to think about how we would write this. Remember, whenever we have to work backwards, we want to write out our formula. We want to fill in all of the information we know so that we can figure out what we're looking for. Okay, I'm telling you now that this is a trickier question. It is not one to rush through. You need to think carefully about what you're doing so that you don't make silly mistakes. Okay, we are trying to figure out what x is. So Tebogo, as soon as you have an equation and there's a number before your variable, like in that case, there was a 6x squared, we always have to divide by that coefficient because we're trying to isolate our variable. We're trying to isolate that x squared. Okay. I want you to think very carefully about how we would work this out. I'm going to just write a little bit of a helping hand here. Tano, don't panic. Whenever we are given a question like this, which is slightly higher order, the first step is to put down your formula. The second step is to fill in all of the information you can. So you are going to have unknowns, you are going to have x, but once you've filled in everything you can, you should be able to work it out like a normal algebraic equation. So our first step, whenever we have a question like this, write out the formula. The second step, fill in all of the information that you can. Help you guys out a little bit over here. Think about what your pink would be, think about what your green would be, think about what your blue would be. And then we go from there. Nico coming in strong with an answer. We'll see, we'll see. That you stew it out. Tebogo, that would be a very big number for x. A very, very big number for x. Think about what your other numbers of this rectangular prism are. So it would be like 2.5 and then 3 and then 664. Okay, we're getting a whole bunch of different answers. Very interesting. I like it. And you know what I like about different answers is it means you're all trying and you're all putting in the time and the efforts. Remember, I never care if you get the wrong answers. I only care that you're trying. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 1 more minute and then I'm gonna walk through how we would go through this question. Generally, you know my rule, Marilla, always round off to 2 decimal places. Okay, let's go. Okay,
Can do this, my pibs.
so we're going to work out our surface area over here. I'm going to do this in stages. Okay, so my green, I'm going to say is 2 times 2.5 x, because it's 2.5 times x. Plus my blue, so 2 times 3x. Plus my pink, so plus 2 times 3 times 2.5. Okay. Now from here, I need to work out each one of these separately. So 2 times 2.5x is going to give me 5x. That's just our normal distribution. We haven't done this since term 1, but it's good practice, for, especially for you, some of you who are writing the exam soon. 2 times 3x gives us our 6x over here. And then all of that pink, we can actually chuck that whole thing into the calculator. So we're going to say 2 times 2.5 times 3, and that's going to give us 15. So we're going to say plus 15. Okay. But they actually told us what our surface area is. So now we can fill in our surface area. You could have filled it in from the beginning, but I'm just going to put it in there. Okay. Think of this as a normal equation. We're going to keep our x's on one side and we're going to move our numbers to the other side. So I'm wanting to move that 15 all the way over to the other side. So I'm going to say 59 minus 15 is equal to 5x plus 6x. Okay. 59 minus 15 is going to give us 44. 5x plus 6x is going to give us 11x. Now I want to isolate x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 11, and I get the answer of x is equal to 4 meters. And that would be my full answer for this question. Quite a few of you got it right. Some people got it right in the beginning, which was really good. But that would be our final answer. So x is going to equal 4 meters. Does anyone not understand what I've done here now that you see it like this? Does it make a bit more sense? So all we've done is we've just done it in stages. So basically we've created our own algebraic equation. Tiana, I don't know if I have another one exactly like this. I might. Let me scroll down. What about 2? What about the x? Oh, so when these are together, so that is 2.5 times x, it's one term. So when I'm multiplying that 2 in, it's just 2 times 2.5. It doesn't affect the x because the 2.5 times x is one term. This is one term because they're being multiplied together. So it's not all of our sides. It's just our green side and our blue side. Our pink side doesn't have an x in it, but our blue side has an x because this height here is an x. This height here is an x. So wherever we have a height, we're going to have x. Your number is double because of oh yeah, okay, so you times the x's by 2. Yeah, so now you know not to. Okay, I think this one might be, yeah. Okay, very lucky. So this one is very similar to the one that we've just done. So this will be really good practice. Very, very same, like very, very much the same idea. So Hannah packages a birthday present in a closed box. So they've specifically said it's a closed box so that you know that the lid is closed. So it's all of my sides of my rectangle, okay? The surface area is 928 centimeters squared. So I want you to think about each of your different sides like we've just done. I want you to write out that formula. I want you to fill in the information like we just did. So you're going to do it sort of step by step, use the previous one that we've just done as like a practice question, basically. And then try and find X for me. And whatever mistakes you made in the last question, try and not make those mistakes in this one. So try and learn something from the last one you did. Yeah, Diana, absolutely. If you're feeling comfortable, you 100% can do this one. So take your time, get your answer ready, and when you're happy with your answer, just pop your hand up for me. It's going to help you guys out a little bit. And it doesn't matter like how you write it. So if you're writing like base times height or length times height is your first one, that doesn't matter.
I'm coming.
What's wrong? Okay, Apiwa's got an answer for us. We'll see if people agree or disagree, Apiwa. We shall see.
The vote is on.
These question guys, like take them slow, be very happy with your answers. I know I'm right. Yeah, double check yourselves. Generally in a test, this will be worth quite a lot of marks. And so it's really worth making sure you're happy with your answer. Oh, lots of people agree with the P-way here.
We can do this, my babes.
Either lots of people are wrong or lots of people are right. I'm seeing lots of missing units though. Thank you, Anam. Okay, Tianaki, tell me what I'm going to write here.
Hi, ma'am. So I'm gonna skip that part where we write a formula. Is it okay?
That's
Is
fine.
it okay? Okay, so we started by saying our CA, which is surface area,
Yeah.
is gonna be 220 times 12.
Okay, so can I write the 928 in now for surface area?
No, not really.
Oh, no,
but
okay, no, it's fine, it's fine. So surface area is equal to, okay, tell me 2 times.
2 times 20 times 12
Good, okay, plus.
plus 2 times 20 x 20
Good.
x plus 2 times 12x.
Okay, good. Next line.
And then we're gonna have we can have our surface area now. Now we can say
Okay,
928
all right.
equals 480.
Mm-hmm.
480 plus 40x
Good,
plus 40x plus 24x.
good.
And then now we're gonna say we're gonna now take it over there. We're gonna say 928 minus 480 equals
Good.
64x.
Yeah.
Yeah, 64x.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna say here on the side it's gonna be 448. because the 9,
Beautiful.
and then it equals to 64x, and then we're going to divide it by both sides, and then our x will be 7.
Yay! What are my units going to be?
7 centimeters.
Yes! Nice job, Tiana. Good work. Woohoo! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to unmute you there. Nice. Okay, good. Guys, this is a tricky question. So if you guys are getting this, then that's great. Awesome. I'm very, very happy. For my last 2 minutes, just to bring back what we were doing on Tuesday, now that you know what X is, can you please tell me what the volume of this birthday present is? What is the volume of this birthday present? Now that you know what X is, what is the volume of this birthday present?
Revision, my peps, recollect. Let's see.
This will help you for your quiz this evening. Yes, Nico. Yes, you little brain buffs. Okay, remember your volume is your length times base times your height. Okay, now we know that X is 7. So our volume is going to be 20 times 12 times 7, which is going to be 1,680 centimeters cubed. Don't forget those units. Nice job, guys. Guys, you smashed it today. Well done. I'm very, very proud.